Think about your car for a second, not as a car, but as a rolling confessional booth. One that also happens to track your location, film everywhere you go, and keep a running log of every place you've ever been. Because there is a SIM card in it, a real cellular SIM, same idea as the one in your phone, and it never stops talking. So the question folks keep bringing me is the honest one. Should you just pull it and take your car clean off the grid? Well, I went and did exactly that. Found it, pulled it, and drove the car a week with it gone, so I could give you a straight answer instead of a guess. And the honest answer has a catch on both sides. Let me walk you through the whole thing. Before we get to the SIM itself, understand there's more than one way your car hands you over, because it changes what you actually gain by pulling it. One way is the stuff that gets plugged in, and I don't just mean at the factory, I mean you getting talked into it. I heard a story that stuck with me. A fella's at the phone store buying a phone, and the clerk says, "Tell you what, I'll knock $40 off the bill if you just plug this little device into your car." Little black box plugs into the port down under your dash. Sounds like free money, right? What it actually was a data box with its own SIM card, quietly reporting his driving straight into an insurance pipeline. $40 to volunteer yourself for surveillance. So before you touch anything, Rule 1, quit plugging strange devices into your car and quit pairing every phone and app to it. That alone shuts a lot of doors. And I want to be specific about the plugging in, because most folks do the single worst one without thinking twice. They run a cable from their phone straight into the car's USB port. The second you do that, the car reaches into your phone and helps itself. Your contacts, your call log, your text messages, your photos on some of them. It pulls a copy, it keeps that copy, and that copy can get shared right along with everything else the car collects. And it runs both directions. The car feeds data back to your phone, back to the car's app, back to the phone's own operating system, and every one of those is another hand in the cookie jar. If you take one single thing from this whole video, it might be this one. Stop hardwiring your phone into the car. Charge it off a plain cigarette lighter charger if you have to. But think long and hard before you plug it into that data port, because you are handing over your entire address book to save yourself a cable. But the big one, the one wired in at the factory, whether you like it or not, is the SIM. Yes, your car has one. It lives inside the telematics module, that flat box about the size of a paperback book, up behind the dash or under one of the front seats, with its own cellular antenna. Now here's the first honest wrinkle. On some cars, that SIM is a real card you can physically slide out, same as an old flip phone. On most modern ones, it's an eSIM, a chip soldered right onto the board, and you cannot slide that out at all. And where it hides depends entirely on what you drive. On some, it's tucked up under the infotainment unit, and you're reaching in half blind to find the slot. On others, it's behind the glove box, behind another panel, and you need a little pin tool to pop it out. There is no one universal answer. And here's a thing that'll tell you something all by itself. There is almost no official video from any car company showing you where that SIM is. They are not in any hurry to help you find it. And I mean it varies wildly from car to car. On one popular electric car, you've got to pull the covering off from under the infotainment screen and reach your hand in there half blind, feeling around for the slot. On a certain import, it's pull the glove box, then pull the panel behind the glove box, then use a little pin tool to eject the card. You are going to be looking up a tutorial for your exact make and model, because there is no master key here, no single answer. That's just the honest reality, and I'd rather you hear it from me now than find it out with your dash already half apart on a Saturday. And you might be wondering what that little card is even sending all day long. Same handful of things we keep coming back to on this channel. Where you are, where you've been, how fast you got there, how hard you brake, whether the car's running healthy, and a steady trickle of little status check-ins back to the manufacturer. And it does it whether you're behind the wheel or the car is dead asleep in the driveway at 3 in the morning. That right there is the whole reason people want it gone. It isn't that the car phones home once when something's wrong, it's that it never stops. And the SIM isn't even the only radio in that dashboard talking to the outside world, it's just the loudest. Your car is also a Wi-Fi hotspot and a Bluetooth transmitter, and some of them will quietly reach out and hop onto networks all on their own. Here's a thing almost nobody knows. As you roll down the road, a lot of these cars are broadcasting their own Wi-Fi network name and the car's serial number right out into the open air for anybody with the right gear to catch. So while you've got the car apart, do 2 more free things. If you ever connected it to your home Wi-Fi, go in and disconnect it and tell it to forget that network. And dig through the settings, or make the dealer do it, for any other remembered networks and have them wiped. It's 1 more leak and it costs you nothing to plug. And there's 1 more door I'd be doing you a disservice not to mention because it stays open even after you've handled the SIM. Every single time you drop that car at a shop for service, somebody plugs a tool into the port down under your dash and pulls data straight off the car's internal network. That's normal, that's how they read your engine. But understand what that really is. A full download of what your car has been keeping on you, handed over in the service bay, and you were never in the room for it. I'm not telling you to skip your servicing. Don't. I'm telling you that quieting the SIM does not seal the car. There are other ways in, and that little port is the biggest one. Which brings me to the first thing most people try. They call the dealer and ask, real polite, "Hey, can you just disconnect the SIM for me?" And I'll save you the phone call. They won't. In all my years on that floor, I never once saw it done. It isn't that the technician couldn't, it's that they are not going to. So if you want it gone, it's you, a flashlight, and a little patience. Now, before you go SIM hunting this weekend, I've got to be straight with you the way I'd want a man to be straight with me, because pulling it is not all upside. When that SIM goes, some things go with it. Your built-in navigation, the map that pulls live traffic down over the network, that goes dumb or dark. Your satellite radio can drop because that rides the connection too. You'll very likely get a nagging little message on your screen every single time you start the car, telling you the connection is missing. And on some cars, there's no making it go away for good, it just nags you. You stop getting security and software updates, so if there's ever a real fix your car genuinely needs, it isn't coming to you over the air anymore. And the big one, the automatic crash call, the SOS that dials for help on its own if you're knocked out cold in a wreck, that is gone. So this is not a no-consequence move, and anybody who tells you it is selling you something. So here's what I actually found when I pulled it and drove that week. Both columns because you deserve both. What kept working surprised me. The car started every single time. Plain AM and FM radio, no problem. The backup camera, the parking sensors, the driver assist, all fine, because that's local. It runs off the car's own computers, not the cell link. And navigation still worked just fine as long as I ran it off my phone, through the cable or the wireless projection. The car's own built-in nav got dumber, but my phone map didn't care 1 bit. So that fear that pulling this thing turns your car into a paperweight? Not true. It drove like a car. But here's the part that felt strange, in the best way. For that whole week, that car was off the grid. Dark, silent, not phoning home to anybody, not one ping, not while I was driving it, and not while it sat in the driveway at 3 in the morning. All that hardware in the dash, built to keep tabs on me, and I'd finally shut its mouth. And it still fired up every single morning and drove exactly like a car is supposed to. What stopped was exactly what I warned you about: the crash call, the phone app, the remote start from that app, the over-the-air updates, and the live traffic nav. You're trading connected conveniences for a car that quits reporting on you. Whether that's a good trade is yours to make, but now you're making it with your eyes open. And let me answer the question I always get: is this even legal? Here in the United States, yes, it is. Over in Europe, they passed a law back in 2018 requiring that automatic crash call system on new cars, so pulling it over there is a whole different conversation. Here, there is no such mandate. The car makers offer it because it sells the car and it keeps you subscribed, but no law requires it, and no law stops you from switching it off. So it's legal. Whether it's smart is the honest part, and it depends on you. If you drive long, empty roads by yourself, or you've got a health condition, that automatic call is a real safety net, and I am not going to talk you out of it. If you always carry a charged phone and the thought of a live cellular tracker on your car bothers you more than the odds of being knocked cold in a ditch, well, that's a fair choice too. I'm not here to make it for you. I'm here so you make it knowing the whole board. And if pulling a soldered-in chip out of your dashboard sounds like more than you signed up for, there's a middle road, and honestly, it's where I'd tell most folks to start. Pull the telematics fuse and live with it a week. It drops right back in if you hate it. Or drop a signal-blocking pouch, a Faraday sleeve, that metal mesh material, over the antenna or over a removable card. Think of it as an airplane mode for your car. Reversible, no soldering, and you can undo the whole thing the day you go to sell it, or the day you decide that crash call is worth more to you than the privacy. So, should you remove the SIM in your car? My honest answer: most folks are better off starting with the fuse or the pouch, living with it a week, and deciding from there. And a good many of them, once they feel how little they actually miss, never do put it back. I'm Hank. About 40 years turning wrenches, the last stretch of it on a dealer floor, and no manufacturer, no dealer, and no subscription outfit pays me a nickel, which is exactly why I'll give you the downside just as plain as the upside. Tell me in the comments, would you pull yours, or is losing that crash call the one line you won't cross? And give me your make and your year, because whether you've got a slide-out card or a soldered-in chip changes the entire job, and I can usually tell you which one you're going to be looking at. Next time, I'm showing you how your car has been quietly reporting your driving straight to your insurance company and the exact setting that shuts it off. Watch out for each other.